Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Titus podcast. Today, we're going to be discussing a little bit about relationships. So, the aspect of relationships that we're going to be discussing in this video is when it comes down to attention and how much attention to give your partner. Specifically, we're going to be talking about something that a lot of young men do, and I think that a lot of young women has had, some issues with this in their relationship with the young man doing this, and that is playing too many video games. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Titus podcast. Thank you so much for joining in today. Like I said, we're going to be talking about how much or how often is it acceptable for young men to be playing video games when they are in a committed relationship. I'm actually going to play a small clip of a Jerry Springer show. Now, the show, I believe, was way deeper or kind of different topic they were trying to reach in this video, because I believe it was something that occurred after he is explaining what goes on in when it comes down to the video games, what his girl did. But so we're not going to dive into that later, what the episode was actually about. But this is how the episode started. They were talking about video games. Have a listen.
I play like 8 to 9 hours at a time.
Yeah.
So if any guy in the audience plays video games or understands that when your girl comes up to you and they like turn off your Xbox or your PlayStation, you're gonna get upset. And
because you're in the middle of a game.
Yeah, exactly. So the other night she comes up to me. She turned off the game. Yeah. I got upset, and so. Like any other guy who plays, they would get upset as well.
It'd be the same thing like a guy watching a football game.
Yeah,
your girlfriend
exactly.
walks
Just
in
like
and turns off the TV in the middle of the game.
But anyway, she goes and lays down. I sit in the chair for 20 more minutes because I'm kind of pissed off at this time because I'm sitting there playing the game. She turns it off. And so I finally give in. I go and lay down with her. And then I wait till she goes to sleep. And then I go back onto the game.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
You're a young guy, okay? I assume you have feelings for your girlfriend. You make it sound like, well, I lay down with her till she went to sleep. I mean, wasn't it enjoyable?
Yeah, it was, but I was just trying to get back to my friends on the game. So.
I see.
So, when examining this video, you saw there that the girl turned off the system, I believe, if my memory serves me correct, and then he went and laid down with her. She went to sleep. He said, "I'm going to get back on the game." So, this tends to happen a lot. I believe I've heard this many times. I've seen it on social media many times. My man is playing video games here, there, and so the question is what is acceptable when it comes down to this? And this is something that I really like to talk about, because really, how often should a young man be playing video games when they are in a committed relationship? So the first thing to analyze here is are you playing video games for fun, or is it for money, right? Because streamers obviously can make money. There's people who make money off playing video games, right? So if you're man, or if you are a man and you're playing video games 8 hours a day, that's a little different. Because if you're making money from it, that's a little different. But see, if you're making money from doing something, that is technically your job. So for 7, 8 hours a day, and you're doing that, that's fine. That's okay. Because then you are allotting the rest of the time for your woman. But if you are playing video games for fun, right? So let's scratch whether or not you're making money from it. If you're doing it for a job, that's totally different. Let's say you're just doing it for fun. There is a problem if you spend 5, 6, 7 hours in a day, especially if you're working and you spend that much time a day playing video games. Now listen, I'm married. You see the ring. I'm married. I dare not spend more than 2 or 3 hours doing anything. I don't care if it's video games. I don't care if it's going to the gym. I don't care if it's hanging out with my friends. I'm not going to spend more than probably 2 or 3 hours doing something while I am being away from my wife, unless it is work. Outside of working, that is the time that is set aside for my wife and for my daughter. If you are in a committed relationship, you should be giving time and attention to your spouse, time and attention to your girl, time and attention to your children, your family. Okay, I have a little girl. She's almost 15 months old. She needs my attention. When I get home from work, she need, baby, come on. I take her. Hey, let's go. Me and Nyla's gonna have a good time. We're gonna cuddle. We're gonna play. Dad and daughter playing, right? And also, hey, babe, look, let's watch some TV together. Babe, let's cuddle together. Babe, let's talk. Babe, let's get in the sheets, if you know what I mean. Okay? Take care of business, if you know what I'm referring to. But the thing I'm trying to get at is, when you have a girl, when you have a family, there is to be time allotted for them. And especially if you work a lot, or, as a man, you're working, that time you are not working, you need to allot the majority of that time for them. That is your family we talking about. And you can't even be happy. This young man, I believe, wasn't even enjoying the time he was spending. He might have, but he probably couldn't wait to get back to the game with his friends. When you commit a relationship, when you get married, playing with your friends, that's time out. Now, on occasion, you're going to go out with them, you're going to hop on a game with them, that's fine. But the majority of your time, that's going to be going to your family. Especially when you have committed yourself to somebody, you made a vow and got married, and now you have children. That life you once used to live, that's a wrap. It's now time for those kids. It's now time for that spouse. It's now time for that girl. If you don't have any kids, it's now time for that girl. If you're not married, it's now time for that girl. Being buddy with this one and that one, and going here and going there, going out to the gym, playing video games, going out to to partying and all that. All that's dead. Your mindset should be changing once you get married. Your mindset should change once you're dating to marry. Your mindset should change once you have children. Your mindset should change once you enter into a committed relationship. This is a serious subject. I know I kind of took it from a weird place, it being on Jerry Springer, when it's comedy, laughter, and they really weren't discussing, because I believe it had said something about he did something with her best friend or something. I don't know. So I believe that's what it was mainly about. But I watched this on TikTok and I realized, man, this is the first part of this video on here on TikTok about the video game part. Oh, we can discuss that. That's something we can discuss. I love discussing things like this on my podcast, because this is what is important to me. There's a lot of young men who do not realize the sacrifices you have to make when you enter into a committed relationship, and they think it's a game. It is not a game. I am 22 years old, and I realized real quick when I made a vow to my wife on May 7th of last year, I realized real quick that it's not a game. There's no going out with your boys every night. There's no going out and drinking and partying every night. There's no playing video games 4 or 5 hours a day. You have responsibilities. You have priorities. You must place before yourself. That's not saying that here and there you can't go and have fun and do it. That's fine. But do not make it a priority to play video games. Do not make it a priority to go to the gym. Do not make it a priority to hang out with your boy, drink every night. Don't make it a priority above. You can make it a priority. You can have a list of priorities. That's fine. But do not make it a priority above your girl, your spouse, your children, your family. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video was a blessing, and I hope you learned something from it, especially if you are a young man. Real quick, actually. Also, I do want to hit on this. If you're a female, don't go and turn off the man's system. Then he just gonna get upset, and then you gonna just start arguing. So real quick, I do want to hit that real quick. If you are a female, don't turn off the man's system. Don't do that. When he's done and you have his undivided attention, you sit down and you discuss that with him and say, look, we got to get serious. I got to discuss something with you. And do it in a way to where he can understand. Don't yell, scream, get upset, But to the best of your ability, stay calm and then explain to him how it's hurting you. Explain to him that he has responsibilities now. He has priorities. And then not only that, go seek some counsel. Get some advice from somebody else. Maybe you two can sit down with an older couple. Maybe you two can sit down with somebody who's knowledgeable and been there before, or has wisdom about that certain issue. Or maybe like I said, maybe they've experienced that. Then you can sit down with them and discuss that. Somebody who will be unbiased. So that is how you can handle that for the young women out there. And young men, remember, never place things that are not necessities. Never place things that are just for entertainment above the greatest blessings in your life, which is your spouse. And if you have children, your children. So, or if you're not married, then your girl. So, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope it was a blessing to you. Hope you learned something from it. Please like this video. Please comment any thoughts you have down below. Please subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you can be notified anytime Titus Dean Barrett posts a video on the Titus Dean Barrett podcast. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.